story when that is the case. But yeah, Electrician has always kind of been one of those heroes of a very niche to an extent, of course, but there are several heroes that where Purge is fantastic against. Again, Hellbringer being an obvious one. Silhouette, definitely another hero that comes to mind. And also, Electrician, the change to him. I mean, he actually is a little bit different of a hero now. I guess not really different, that's probably a bad word. He's definitely, I think, in a lot of ways buffed of a hero. And the new static grip, especially how it works, how you don't no longer need to channel it. It actually will it'll channel it with itself, and you can still do whatever you like. So it does bring another level to the hero. Now, here I am talking about a hero that we're not going to see, but the point is it would be fun. It would be fun for when he becomes eligible, possibly being seen. But we have the initial part wrapping up there. We got Bubbles into Gladiator coming out from our two teams. So WOP Dash finishing their third pick more so of the Gladiator. It's going with a initiation team fight heavy makeup here early on. Behemoth, Mag, and Glad. Well, heroes with a lot of potential to start team fights and also continue as they happen on, and a lot of AoE presence, of course. So seems like WOP Dash going to be going for that kind of idea, perhaps. Also has a bit of gank potential thrown in there, and so I'm looking at the right click of the carry that they got there of the Drunken Master, and thinking it wasn't the best synergy with this lineup. But if they wanted to be more of an aggressive lineup, then perhaps. But it feels like a very Malikan heavy lineup to me right now. Corrupted Disciple, honestly, could be pretty good in this lineup as far as some decent synergy here. So yeah, we'll see what they end up with. But Forsaken Archer, no, probably not Forsaken Archer. That's another hero I do want to I'm intrigued to see, but I understand at the same time why we do not. You actually know another one that that would be fun. I actually thought about it last game while we were watching the Oogie there. Zephyr. God, Zephyr's had an interesting history. Has always kind of been like a very specific carry for some teams. There's been players that have been known to play throughout history, but the biggest weakness is he's a lot of magic damage presence, very magic heavy. He obviously had those buffs there a couple of months ago where his jungling got absolutely insane, and he was the talk of the town. He was considered over OP and everything. And then they kind of tweaked that a little bit, nerfed it down, and Soul Sun never again. So I think that's a sign of maybe it being a difficult hero to really try to find that very even ground of where he should be, perhaps. But yeah, he would be definitely a fun one to kind of see make an appearance, but probably wouldn't expect it here by any means. Arachna going to be fourth picked. The bans, what were the bans? We had Dark Lady into Swiftblade, Silhouette into Salt Forest, Scout into Sandwraith here coming out. So, pretty carry-heavy bans, actually, on both sides right here. So, yeah, again, we have the Arachna perhaps as a result of that. But Arachna's interesting to me, actually. That Hardy Carapace will be good for a lot of jump here from the Hellborn team. Maybe it's a mix of that. Also a good secondary carry option, of course, having the War Beast here, so a couple of those things on top of all the bans. So I guess the more kind of talking it out makes a little more sense. But yeah, there's no I guess I was thinking more along the lines of the other side, the opposition, not really going up against a hero that's where a Spider Sting will be really good against for kiting or whatnot. But overall is, of course, a very strong tool in a lot of ways. Blitz going to be coming out for WOP Dash with their fourth pick. And now 3 seconds. Complexity going to need to choose quick. They go with Moraxis as their final pick. So going to run with the Moraxis here. Again, we do see Rick Grosse. He is the one stepping in for Oscar here. He was having those internet issues earlier. So did a fine job in the previous game as Lodestone. Going to give it a shot on Moraxis this time around, it looks like. Final pick, Moon Queen on the Hellborn side for WOP Dash. So, all right, we got our lineups good to go. Moon Queen going to be the carrier of choice for WOP Dash. Moon Queen, I don't know. Maybe it's coincidence, but all of a sudden Moon Queen has kind of made a little bit of a jump back onto the scene. Again, not complexity, but Sync with Haxer and has played it several times, done very well with it even. I was talking about what with what you got earlier about how Complexity even tried it last weekend in a losing effort, but still giving it a shot there. And now we see WOP Dash running it here. Down 0-1 to Complexity, sure enough. Going to try to get some Moon Queen presence to help them be victorious. But so a very 4-1 heavy strat here on the side of WOP Dash. I'm going to put all on Moon Queen in that sense of trying to carry, but difficult task indeed. Where they also lane is also another curious thing. Behemoth already hitting bottom with those boots of his. So he absolutely will be in a suicide Magnus in middle, it looks like. And as a result, going to be setting up a bit of a trialing up here perhaps at the top lane. Or I guess Blitz could have middle and then maybe Gladiator supporting. No, that wouldn't make sense. So he does go boots Gladiator. So going to be playing a very roam-heavy Gladiator here. From the beginning, it looks like. Huh. I was expecting maybe even a jungle Gladiator. You know, obviously we've seen that once or twice. Pexu, of course, most noticeably. But, no, not going to be the case here either. Instead, going the boots, and like I said, is really just going to be playing roam heavy. I mean, Pitfall, fantastic for those ganks there. Oh, they may get more access here. He goes up, places the ward. He hit the Pitfall? No. Wow, the fact he was able to just walk up here and place that ward of sight. Pretty good. Pretty good. I don't even think he realizes how close he might have been to death. I mean, I guess he was able to see them then, having the ward there. But, yeah, very close call. But that did give him the note that, sure enough, Gladiator up here. As you see right here, they're trying to prevent the Hellhounds from doing the full pull. And they will be successful at that. They kill off both of them. You got Moon Queen is probably going to tank the creep wave here. Until it comes back, so good control. Ooh, oh, God. Man, spiders, I'm not a fan of spiders in general, man. And this skin, ugh, disgusting. Anyways, Arachna Andromeda is going to be versing the Magnus here middle lane. So Fuzzy, Formless, excuse me, on the Arachna. What am I thinking? So, yeah, what you got's explain the war. Okay, that makes sense. He's going to be in the jungle here, so, yeah, Formless in the middle Arachna with the Andromeda, and then Fuzzy playing Bubbles in the middle lane, or the bottom lane as we see here. So, going up against the Behemoth. All right, interesting laning decisions on both sides here. Something tells me, you know, I'm kind of trying to think here of why they really wanted to send the Arachna middle like this. They must have thought that what it's going to be a little bit different from WOP Dash. As far as the line, which is understandable. Again, this is kind of a funky lineup. They probably did expect a dual lane middle and wanted to match up against it, I guess. But you figure Bubbles, I don't know. I'd be curious what the logic was here behind sending the Arachna middle, other than just being a pretty strong middle hero in general. But I mean, this does mean Behemoth should be able to get some decent levels as he is, and as I say this, Andromeda's rotating over. And is going to get Behemoth to kind of fall back here. But Behemoth able to gets a little bit of experience, a couple of last hits, 3 in total here. Not doing too shabby. You figure if it was Arachna down here, especially with Andromeda, there'd be nothing for him. But then it would be different middle lane, of course. Magnus, well, he just got his first creep kill right there. So the trade-off, you know, perhaps Complexity, that's maybe all of it. They really want to stop this Magnus, if anything, but that's being accomplished. Top lane, more access. He's going to be fine. Did a great job of avoiding the Blitzkrieg right there. You know, somewhat similar to Moira, the cast animation of Blitz, it is a pretty obvious one, and there is a little bit of a cast time to it, so he was able to react right there with the Arcane Shield, and thus escape. I think if you're if you're WOP Dash up here, you're pretty much going to need to land a Pitfall first, and then set up the Blitzkrieg shortly after to prevent that from happening. But that first time, obviously coming up short there. And thus, again, we're grossly going to be fine. But Moon Queen managing really free farm at the top lane in the meantime. Andromeda, that's an illusion, right? Yeah, that is an illusion. He's trying to act like he's just roaming, trying to bait out this bottom lane with the real Andromeda down here. But as we see, Behemoth, he's currently hiding in the middle lane. So kind of foils that plan right there. Behemoth just simply setting out, trying to perhaps maybe catch this Arachna even as Blitz is coming in. There's the Magma stun. Arachna, she doesn't have level 2 Hardened Carapace just yet. She finally gets it off. Now she's trying to go maybe for a turn on the Magnus. No, the Steam Bath, and down it goes Arachna. Gotta say, if Formula just kept running, maybe he survives, but that was so tasty trying to go for that turn kill. And sure enough, ends up being the end of him. So well played right there by WOP Dash, and they pick up a Bloodlust kill. Pretty big one at that, especially with Behemoth able to be involved. In fact, getting credit for the Bloodlust kill. And so Formless having to resurrect and port back to the middle lane. Will continue his farm, which again is very solid here, 24 and 14 now. But the death definitely slowing things down a little bit. Moon Queen, she is 28 and 16, doing that much better. But I mean, look at the creep kills actually on both sides, and you got Bubbles up there, 27 and 12. Warbeast is obviously in the jungle, but he's off to a pretty good start, it's safe to say. So what you got, nearing 300 gold per minute himself. Yes, a couple of Stealth Hunters here, Wild Hunter and a Stealth Hunter to now finish up before moving on. But yeah, Bubbles, Fuzzy Sloth, going to see what kind of impact he's able to have here, having the very good start that he has. That is a good point, actually. Moon Queen, I guess Moon Queen did receive that nighttime buff as far as the vision goes. So, yeah, but is that really a reason why we're actually seeing this here all of a sudden? I don't know if that is. I think it is a lot of it coincidence. It's a nice job at the top lane, by the way, as they catch Regrosted just a little too far out. Behemoth, he is able to obviously block him, and we saw the end result there. So it did take 4 heroes. Well, kind of. It only took 2, really. But anyways, 4 heroes end up being there, sharing that experience and getting involved in the kill. But kill nonetheless. 2-0 start now for the Hellborn team. Look at Blitz here middle lane. They're trying to gank Arachna again, but this time Andromeda happens to be in the right place at the right time and is able to put the stun out and also get the vision. Seeing that happening, thus going to help keep Arachna alive. So gank going to be unsuccessful there. But yeah, what is it again? It doesn't even, does it say here? Yeah, so passively increases Moon Queen's night vision radius by 200 units. Does that increase as well? Oh, it does. Okay, so let's say, yeah, up to 800. So yeah, I mean, that was actually, I mean, that is a pretty cool change. That's kind of a unique change, really. You get that vision now even more so during the nighttime of the game. Obviously, really half of the game there. So yeah, whether or not, again, I don't think that's why she all of a sudden is kind of maybe being picked up here and there, but it's one of those nice little, if anything, it's one of those nice reminder changes. It's like this hero is actually still a pretty strong hero, kind of just reminding you guys that's the case, and so we're going to throw in a little bit of a buff there. So pretty nifty indeed. She is, again, farming very well, 360 gold per minute to get Iron Shield here. Assist with some early farm on top of the Steam Boots. Expecting the pretty traditional route as far as her item build. Whispering Helm, Firebrand, Geos, of course, Shrunken, things like that. Bottom lane, tower is going to fall. You got Fuzzy Sloth even getting credit for it. Warbeast, of course, assisting with that. So all of a sudden, Fuzzy really jumps up there, 440 gold per minute. And they're going for the secondary tower, so WOP Dash having to make a decision here. It looks like they are going to decide to defend it, as they are sending Magnus and Blitz down here. Can they get the catch, actually? Warbeast, they're underestimating the potential. Out comes the Fissure. Warbeast does have an ultimate form, but the Fissure block is going to be a little bit too much. He's going to go down. Now, Blitz actually killed by Bubbles in response. Well played there. And actually, the Fissure were out, you know, Warbeast almost was able to get away there, actually. That was pretty close. But, again, it wasn't enough. A 1-for-1 exchange. Still in favor of the Hellborn team here, as they got the support for that Warbeast. But, again, the tower push coming out from Complexity. Now, Kelfield is, of course, on cooldown here for Bubbles for another 65 seconds or so. But it's going to keep pushing out the bottom, getting that portal key. Working towards it at least. 1750 gold saved up now. Arachna, plenty of build-up for her. Has the Mystic Vestments even. Does have level 3 now, Hardening Carapace, so obviously, again, 2 is the important mark there of being able to activate it while stunned. And is going to be pretty powerful against the Hellborn side. Yeah, really good in general, actually, even thinking about it more like with the Moon Queen, too. The Moon Beams, the Moon Finale, not going to be as powerful against the Arachna. Now, yeah, obviously, still, Moon Queen becomes a very physical, heavy threat in the later game, but she does rely a bit on the Moon Beams and, again, the Moon Finale, especially in these fights, especially in the early to mid-game stage. So it's proven to definitely be a pretty solid pick overall here for Complexity. Again, especially with Formless Planet, really curious to see what kind of build we are going to see here. Obviously, a weakness of Arachna is that of her farming is not as strong as other carries. Kind of needs that assistance, and now with Thunderclaw not considered to be as good. The build-up a little bit too much, perhaps. A little more expensive. So yeah, where do you go? Where do you go if you're Arachna here? Do you just get the stat items, the Firebrand, Geometer's Bane, things like that, or are we going to see some kind of farming to him? I mean, he's going to go the Energizer. At least right here. But yeah, curious to see what Formless decides to work towards. Top lane, more Axis. Nice combo coming out. Call to arms, not necessary in the end, but really just in case. Maybe if some support was coming in. So can't blame him for using it. It's not the longest cooldown, only 80 seconds. Yeah, 80 seconds at level 1. Using that to secure it, if anything. Andromeda running into Blitz in the meantime. Arachna's coming over. Oh my god, not enough. Yes, it is. The dot is enough from the web shot. So you saw the quick in there from Blitz. Able to jet on out of there. Not so much, though. Actually, how does that quicken work with the Spider Sting? I wonder if that's part of the reason. As they try to combo to Arachna right here, get it blocked, but unsuccessful with that. I wonder, like, I assume you're not going to be able to, like, completely run away from a Spider Sting by any means if you get that onto you, in between attacks or something, but, yeah, probably not. Probably overthinking that. It's kind of funny because they did pick Blitz in response. I guess for the web shot alone, though, it's, pretty good. We saw right there, despite the web shot, still enough for the kill because of the dot, but gave him a chance at least. So we do have a portal key now on Bubbles. Sitting at the bottom lane, has Kelfield ready to go. No support though, probably not going to get a solo kill here. So Fuzzy Sloth will think twice about that and head elsewhere. Mighty Blade picked up on Arachna, so really is going a lot of survivability here. Very, very stat heavy on Arachna early on in this game. Now, with her precision, of course, she is she's able to, not allowed, but able to do plenty of damage still. So from that perspective, can definitely make sense. Warbeast also going to be very important, however, with how he progresses. 340 gold per minute for Warbeast currently. Continuing to farm in that jungle there. Moon Queen clearing out some Ancients. Looks like maybe Behemoth wanted a couple there, but not going to give it. Yeah, I mean, Behemoth 1870, you could argue might have been worth to let him last in at least one, if not a couple of those. But, yeah, Moon Queen also needs farm. And does have that Whispering Helm, of course. Another 2,100 gold saved up. Nearly 500 GPM now for Imbapingu. Once again, playing the Moon Queen here. Magnus top lane, 2,000 gold. So him and Behemoth actually going to be very similar timing with their portal keys, and of course going to be big for that jump. Bubbles has had his for a little bit. It's no secret by any means. He's still farming the bottom lane, obviously showing it plenty. Yeah, and Bubbles isn't necessarily a Pebbles though, or like a Behemoth factor, things like that, where it's, it's so good to maybe want to hide it to try to maybe get a gank. But you tried it for a little bit, but you only want to do that so long at the same time. You don't want to hide forever, waiting for that prime spot. And, probably not as likely to get solo kills as something like the Pebble. So, figures, nope, just going to keep farming. They know I have it, but, hey, it'll still become very useful throughout the game. 1,600 gold saved up on War Beast. What you got definitely talks about the puzzle box a little bit, so I wonder if that could be a possibility here. Or if we're just going to see a little bit more of the traditional route, the shrunken brutalizer, things like that. Soul's Bulwark. Okay, there we go. There's the Soul's Bulwark. Top lane, Moraxis. Going to be jumped. Yep, it's a kill. He could not get his Matrax up. Response now from Bubbles as well as Arachna. Gladiator going to be a victim of that. So the Spider stings out. Kelfield as well to keep in place. Gets the kill. Warbeast middle lane. He is in that Metamorphosis. Lockdown, not going to be enough though, I don't think. Yeah, he will run away. Got a little close there with Moon Queen charging in, but not able to chase down. You see Moon Queen with that Firebrand now to go with the Whispering Helm. Portal Key, yeah, obviously Magnus has his. Saw that there at the top lane. Behemoth just about there. Teams will continue to farm for the meantime. As middle, no. I saw a pit fought, I think, for a second. I'm just simply farming with it. Here in the middle. They'll rot, though, from Magnus. And he also has Blitz nearby, so going to maybe try to bait out the Splits, if anything. Doing some counter warding. Arachna trying to kill the ward first. Oh, they both. Oh, it misses right there. The last second, so good job by Blitz there. Again, didn't bait anything out, but won that ward battle. Oh, back to the middle. Andromeda going to swap out right there. She will die as a result. But now Arachna is going to be able to set up the turn on a Magnus. Metamorphosis on Warbeast. They're chasing the Shell Surf. He's going to have to Kelfield. No, he's not. Auto attacks plenty. Man, especially with that battle cry, it's pretty impressive to see that damage. Big shockwave, though, from Behemoth coming out. Bubbles getting low. Using the ticker for the last second. Going to be fine for now. What you got picked off by the Moon Finale, though. You do see the Kelfield coming out from Fuzzy Sloth, keeping them in place. And now trying to set up some turn. Moon Queen, in fact, falling victim here. Yeah, he is going to go down, and the chase is now on further. Gladiator, couple auto attacks. Look at that. Fuzzy Sloth jumps back in, secures the kill. Behemoth, he is going to live because of that stun. Blitz running back into the fight, but he's only level 5. Cannot secure the kill onto Arachna. So big picture complexity, definitely winning that exchange there. Here in the middle, Moon Queen, she got a little too tunnel vision, it felt like, kind of pushing out. And clearly got trapped, ran right into Moraxis, really. We saw what happened there. That was Moraxis, too, without a portal key. He just kind of walked up, so chugged along. Another 1,800 gold saved up. Onto Moraxis, that is. So, yeah, the portal key on him will be coming shortly now. So, and the big portal key on Behemoth was a bit of a surprise, no doubt, but not enough to really win that middle fight, unfortunately. Coming up short, but going to try to keep active. Here is WOP Dash. You see them going to the bottom lane now. You got Gladiator and Magnus down here. Andromeda, that's an illusion. Does she even know that? I think she might have been trying to kill it just because. Or I don't know if she actually knew that, but whatever it is, the bait is real, and she falls victim to such bait. So good job right there from WOP Dash. Maybe to get her to chase out a little bit more. Yeah, Ragnating really hard, especially with that battle cry, the precision on top of that. Very, very hard right clicks here from Arachna, and she is going to have a shrunken head actually in the near future now. I think, yeah, she still needs a pattern, but coming out very nicely. And again, especially this is a very heavy magic damage dealing team in general. Again, even Moon Queen, pretty good on the magic side. That's a lot of her damage where it's coming from in the early game. Until late game, sure, but for the time being, up until that point, pretty heavy magic. More access bottom. He is going to not only survive, but maybe try to set up a turn now. More access, helping to chase, and yes, the kill to secure the kill onto Magnus there. Andromeda off to the side, doing some swap, just staying alive as long as possible. Buying a lot of time here, and in fact, it's going to be enough, I think, because here comes Warbeast to try to secure a kill on a blitz now. One more auto attack. Oh, the fissure block, but it was on the wrong side, unfortunately. Can't blame him for trying, of course. And he still secures the kill there, as Fuzzy Sloth actually gets credit for it even. A nice chase by them. Look at these illusions, so nice job with the deny there. But the Moon Queen illusions doing plenty. Push, we see the Geometer's Bane with that set, of course, finished on Moon Queen here. So her farm continues to look very impressive. As we do see the Shrunken Head now on Arachna officially. And it'd be my guess that Warbeast is going to be going for his next. Again, a very, very powerful game to have Shrunken Head in. Bubbles, are we going to see a Sheepstick soon? Man, we are. He has the Luminous Prism right here. So Sheepstick going to be just around the corner now. I guess still a little bit longer, but yeah. Is working towards that as he even gets the cogwheel there. This means the Acolyte Staff. Top lane, Magnus. The Song of the Sea, yep, it's that. The Shell Surf. Kelp Field, not even necessary. Wasn't up anyway, so couldn't have used it. It's coming up in a couple seconds. But anyways, they get the kill without it. And also using that newly picked up portal key of Moraxis there to do so. So now top lane push. Going to be putting some pressure on the top tower here. The lead isn't as big as honestly I'd expect here in this game. Feels like complexity is even further ahead, but 4,000 gold lead is solid for sure, but it's not overwhelming. 5,400 experience lead in their favor, so yeah, complexity definitely in the lead, but WOP Dash once again still grinding out very nicely, and you got this Moon Queen, 2,200 more gold saved up. Does she actually? I don't know if she needs that Shrunken. You know, I mentioned that earlier with her, what expecting from her build, but maybe going straight into maybe getting a Wingbow next. Ah, no, God, Arachna, man, she's brutal. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. Wingbow's still decent, I think, if anything, for the damage aspect, but yeah, having to deal with that precision, the true strike there of Arachna, that is very annoying, no doubt. So maybe not going to see that Wingbow instead. Maybe that is where it warrants getting the Shrunken, but it's like there's that trade-off though, because I guess Arachna just in general is really good to have in this case. It's kind of talked about, but his love gets picked up on him. But even the Shrunken on Moon Queen, Arachna doesn't care about that at all, obviously, and neither does Warbeast really. So you still have a lot of damage coming through. I guess the lockdown is important to be able to avoid with a Shrunken Head. So, yeah, the Shrunken probably makes a little more sense than why I'm talking it out here thinking about it. But, yeah, not being able to get a Wingbow because of Arachna or being a lot less effective is unfortunate. Here we go, middle lane, Shockwave jump. They're going to go into Warbeast right here. Will this work out in the long run? Call to arms even coming out. And they are mitigating a lot of damage now. Remember, 2 more Axis. Has that Shadowstorm up. Arachna, he's trying to run. You see the ultimate from Blitz actually doing a bit right there with the shackles. But now Bubbles joins the party and assisting plenty. The Claves are bouncing around from Moon Queen, however, doing a good damage. Fissure from Behemoth trying to secure the kill. The swap on a Moon Queen, it puts her in a bad spot. And she does go down. Very good offensive swap there from Andromeda. I thought it was actually pretty bad for a second because of the fissure block, but it actually really did put her in a very, very tough spot there, and she does go down. So a little sloppiness there, a little back and forth, but complexity does come out on top of it. And, I mean, both Arachna and Warbeast even staying alive. So, yeah, I mean, definitely winning that fight by complexity. And this is going to be a middle tower kill on top of that now. So well played there. And they now continue their biggest lead of the game, now up to 6,500 gold lead and about an 8,700 experience lead. Sheepstick just picked up on Bubbles as well. So, yes, he is dead currently, but very important item for him to have, of course. You see Andromeda also doing a good job of getting some nice aggressive wards down in the meantime. So, Now, Moon Queen has enough for a Shrunken if he wants to right-click it here, which, if he's planning to get it, obviously he should. When he resurrects, at least, I guess, but he could also buy it now, so that's honestly leading me to believe that he might actually be trying to think about something else. But I don't know. Shrunken does just seem like it's going to be really good this game for her. And she is going to... Okay, so she is going the Dancing Blade, so she is going to go for the Wing Bow. Again, so as I'm saying, it's still good. It is the illusion, the split push, very powerful with Moon Queen especially. An idea we always talk about with buffing the illusions, but not having the evasion impact nearly as much as if Arachne is nearby. There's not going to be it really does negate the obviously the defensive aspect of the item of the evasion. So that's not going to be fun to deal with here for Moon Queen, but she figures the damage it's going to help put out is just enough of a reason to still warrant getting it. But again, not only that, but this does mean now she's not getting the Shrunken, of course, and so the lockdown from Moraxis, Andromeda, Bubbles, going to prove to be extra potent here, extra effective even. Andromeda. Well, that was kind of a funky sequence there. Not sure what she planned to accomplish with the side. I think she was trying to time it perfectly, I guess. But, yeah. Tried to make a play. Didn't work. It's one of those cases. You might as well use a cooldown, I guess. Yeah, only being 65 seconds. Not a big deal there, so. Should be out by the time she needs it to get anyways, resurrecting here. But yeah, I was blanking on the name, but yeah, the Lightning Shackles. I meant to suggest the last fight. It actually seemed like it did quite a bit. I mean, the slow, if anything, the damage is decent, but the slow that it provided, pretty powerful. You saw that in the last fight there. So, able to get some good initiation off. Obviously, in general, this team is great at that. The Shackles are going to be a great addition to it. But oh, and they may need to use something like that right here. The bottom lane, Arachne popping the Heart of Care Base. They're looking to set up some turn immediately. Gladiator will fall. He did not have call to arms. Couldn't use it, obviously, because of that. Meanwhile, in the background, Warbeast chasing down Moon Queen. Pops the move. Finale says, screw it. I got to fight anyways. Is it going to work? It's not. She goes down. Moraxis did end up dying right there. Eruption gets off from Magnus. But look at the Heart and Carapace Arachne. It's still not enough, though. It still was enough damage to go through. I thought for sure she's going to be able to tank it, but never mind. She was too low in life. And it is a kill, so well played there by Tossie. Bubbles goes in. Nice take cover, though. Baits out the stun and gets the kill onto Magnus in the long run. So, again, numbers-wise, definitely in favor of Complexity here, especially taking a Moon Queen. But this time, at least they are able to kill Arachne, as we saw. But you got Warbeast, yeah, the cycle. Those things are annoying. Where is the Vulture Lord? He's over here. You got another 4,600 gold on Warbeast, so he could finish a full Demonic here, get a Brutalizer. Those would be the two off the top of my head that I would expect to see, typical if anything. But, okay, yeah, he is going to go the full Demonic. Makes sense. I don't know if Lockdown is something they're necessarily hugely lacking here. So, now, Moon Queen, I don't think she had that Wing Bow prior to that fight. I'm pretty sure she just bought it now after she died there. Or she got it delivered or whatever. But still, so I mean, we've already been over that, so not to keep harping on it. It's going to be interesting to see if that Wing Bow is going to be as effective as he's hoping for. Obviously, defensively, not so much. Offensively, though, pretty powerful. Pretty powerful here. $2,000 gold saved up on Arachne. Probably going to be going at geometers of her own here. Looks like Shrunken going to be worked on Bubbles. Got a Warhammer. Gonna pop a Veiled Rod actually and head towards the middle lane here. All grouped up now, so Complexity trying to find another kill opportunity. They're gonna find one here onto Gladiator. Now Moon Queen almost lucky that they didn't also go onto her. They still might. They're still trying to see the Hellhound. Gonna scout it out, and I don't know if they saw her go up here or not. I think they did. Maybe no. They know she's hiding somewhere up here, but unable to actually chase her down. So good getaway from Moon Queen at least. But clearly a very dangerous spot to be in for her. Now I'm going to play defensively. So yeah, Complexity really making it clear that they're not gonna let their foot off the gas here. They know that they are going up against a Moon Queen who is farming well, and you never want to have the game last too long if that's the case. Middle tower here is going to be killed. This is the second to last one. The top secondary is still up as well. But yeah, you also see the Demonic Breastplate, the work that's helping to do. Has another Mighty Blade, so probably going to be that Brutalizer here. Could be a Frost of Skull. I don't think that would be out of the question completely, but yeah, probably not necessary. Brutalizer. More of the typical pickup again. My V got stuck again. There we go. Vel'Dorad Gladiator trying to maybe set up around the Conqueror Pit, but obviously not even going to be remotely in time. And they give the token to Arachna, of course. Bottom tower secondary going down. But now Complexity. They just try to use this token right away. They're not necessarily just about to get some big tier items. And I guess a Shrunken on Bubbles, you could argue, is decent. But yeah, not worth falling back and really trying to farm it out here. Seems like they're pretty content on going from Conqueror to pushing into the base now of WOP Dash here. Behemoth making that difficult. Gladiator as well, of course. This is a very strong counter push team here on the Hellborn side, but obviously Complexity not letting it affect them too much. You got that True Strike aura of Arachna, of course. Nice pitfall there. It's a couple background though. Look at Bubbles. Was that an Eruption channel? No. Okay, he still has Eruption. Good to go. Magnus stunning in. You can tell Behemoth. This must be so tempting to jump here with the shot, but he's actually the illusion's hitting him, preventing the portal key. So that might have been why actually. Because yeah, that was a really juicy spot to the shockwave. It felt like, but I think he was being canceled if anything. I wasn't able to do with that. So they get the racks and that's done. You see the top lane Moon Queen did as much pressure as she could, but definitely a conscious decision there by WOP Dash to basically trade a racks to try to maybe split push the top lane. As we see though, it's in favor of Complexity, and oh, they're gonna catch Moon Queen now. Sheepstick onto her. Don't have the follow-up though yet, although Warby's charging in as soon as he does. Here comes a shockwave from Behemoth. Warby's didn't pop his Shrunken. Oh no, he's going to go down because of that. Now they do kill Moon Queen, so it's still probably worth it for Complexity. And Arachna continuing to do some more damage. Gladiator picked off. Magnus, can he at least kill Arachna? Yes, he can. And now Bubbles is trying to still stay around and get some more kills, though, as Arachna comes back up. Blitzport's out, and the rest get away. So, yeah, I mean, they burned the token. It could have got a lot prettier if simply Warby's flopped his Shrunken going into that. Yeah, figured he would have had the kill and been able to get out. Fortunately did not. Big picture though, again, Complexity still pretty successful when it comes to the end of that fight. So well played there. As we're now about 32 minutes into this game here. 12,000 goal lead, 14,000 experience lead. In favor of Complexity. Again, Moon Queen. I'm not saying a Shrunken Head would have necessarily really saved her there, but the survivability, I think, is showing a little bit. Going to item set. He has another 3,300 gold saved up. He could actually. I think the symbol definitely could be a very possible next pickup here for Moon Queen. It would make a lot of sense. Speaking of that survivability, of course. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Keep an eye on what Imbo Pingu decides here, though. Bubbles, maybe thinking about making a play in the middle lane. Oh, they see Moon Queen now. But there is no support really nearby, so instead just going to kill some creeps and be done with that. Blitz top lane currently has an Invis rune. Scatting things out. 10 more seconds. There is no bound eye on the Legion side, so should be fine here. It's going to go the other way. So this is going to be the last outer tower destroyed in favor of Complexity here. I don't see WOP Dash defending this. Of course, they're definitely an opponent in this game. Just simply defend the base, if anything. Not worry about your outer towers, really. So going to give it up easily. Trying to split push. You have a bottom lane down here, Magnus, Gladiator, but no, they are going to start porting back now, as Complexity can definitely keep this going. They don't have a token on them, but they got plenty of firepower. 4,300 gold saved up on Arachna, by the way, so a little inefficient there as far as pushing into the base, but still, very good push here. Chance by Complexity. Again, that True Strike just sitting on the downhill. Easy tower kill as a result. Bottom tower does go down. You see Moon Queen, the Glaives. Okay, so Complexity, they're going to be the ones that need to fall back here, actually, as they start to do so. And, yeah, they are going to be successful. You saw, okay, Andromeda's going to get caught. I was going to say, I was wondering if WOP Dash is going to be able to stop any TPs. They catch Andromeda, but the others they could not. Andros, I mean, she is dead. You see that they're trying to catch somebody else, but not going to happen. So, and not the worst thing in the world for Complexity, but nice job, though, at the same time of WOP Dash. Can you see the presence of Moon Queen? Really able to put the pressure on here of Complexity. What did he buy? Oh, wow. He bought up a straight-up Behemoth's Heart, actually. Interesting. Okay, well, that does help with the survivability issue. At least quite a bit. And, yeah, Moon Queen is a nice hero when it comes to that. If he really can bulk up and just sit there, right-click, auto-attacking those Glaives bouncing around, it will do wonders. Big skirmish up here in the top side. Magnus goes down, but a quick response from the team support here of Gladiator especially. Moon Queen also there, but Warbeast, he's just going to walk it off. Bubbles and Magnus exchanging lives. Should be the end of it. Does Bubbles have a buyback? He does not. He actually just got that Arcana, so this could be an opening now for WOP Dash to try to actually perhaps break into the base even. As they are going to make their way towards the middle, of course, the last secondary tower for them to destroy. Being right there. You got the bottom lane, Arachna kind of split pushing it. She may actually end up forcing them back, though, if anything. Oh, never mind. Arachna's going to port back, but so is WOP Dash. So, yeah, both sides saying it's just not worth it against one another. And they end up falling back. We got WOP Dash, Moon Queen stealing the stack Ancients here before they truly walk away. But, yeah, you got the 2,900 life now on Moon Queen here. Able to still do plenty of damage with the right clicks. And again, we saw when the tower was destroyed, especially the Glaives just bouncing around in the base. One of the better siege heroes in the game. For that reason right there. So even though Complexity, they've kind of held on to a decent lead. They've kind of grown their lead over time. I still feel like WOP Dash, there is definitely hope here. And Moon Queen is all to thank for that. In fact, Moon Queen was really that hero for a long time, you know, through history that we would always go back to. It's like, you know what? There's a Moon Queen in this game. Tempest, another one that comes to mind. It's like, as long as there's Moon Queen, more so just simply because of his carry aspect of, as long as there's a Moon Queen in the game, there's always a chance. And, you know, there is that notorious comeback, the 30,000 golden experience lead that the opposition having the Moon Queen able to come back from and win the game in the end. So, yeah, she kind of has that history there already built in. So, yeah, definitely still hope here for WOP Dash. But nonetheless, it is a lead for Complexity, and they're going to make their way top. But you see it once again, Moon Queen sends the illusion, spot him. A very early jump from Moraxis going in there. Pretty greedy at that. Gladiator going to be fine, though. Moraxis dropping low. He may die. Yeah, he will. So already a start here for the Hellborn side. Call to arms. It hits Arachna. Bonham. Okay, the illusions do eventually go away. They look like maybe dead creature, maybe just despawn. But Chase is on now. Complexity having to fall back and insisting on chasing his WOP Dash. In the background, though, Kelfield trying to now catch the Moon Queen. Spider Sting is out. Moon Queen dropping. Moon Queen will fall so quickly. Again, even as tanky as she is, just not enough survivability. Down goes Magnus. Yeah, Arachna was able to sit there right-clicking as well as Warbeast, and that proved to be too much. Now, Moon Queen buys back. Going to try to reset right here. Warby's no metamorphosis. Definitely a big game changer. Magnus turns around, but look at that again! The shockwave comes out, but it just doesn't matter. As soon as the focus is put on Moon Queen, she just melts right there. Arachna doing so much damage in that fight, so she's dead again, and no more buybacks. However, the bottom was eventually pushed in by the creep wave here, so I mean, WOP Dash, they definitely got a little bit of a victory out of this despite losing Moon Queen after a buyback even in that top fight. The fact that Complexity didn't actually push in the racks right here. So, still think WOP Dash has a lot to be excited for after that fight here. But now we got a Whispering Helm picked up on Arachna. In the meantime, I was going to wonder what he now would go for. Oh, no, changing his mind. I wonder if that has to do with buyback, though. It might have to do with buyback. Yeah, because I could definitely see him going that symbol right here. He clearly is doing plenty of damage. I mean, we saw several times that last fight. And I want to say a lot of that was Arachna. Yeah, Warby's, I'm sure, helped a bit, too, but felt like a lot of that was Arachna. There's other things to keep in mind that I actually kind of just reminded myself even of. The Andromeda, her Dimensional Link, her Aurora. Very powerful tools for also assisting some of that damage for those right-click heroes, as we call them, in Arachna and Warbeast here. So, yeah, it actually is a little more understandable, perhaps, as to why Moon Queen did drop as fast as she did. Yeah, and that's where actually, looking at this, too, you wonder... I mean, she does have a bit of armor, you know, just from the agility of 26, but I don't know. She can't go Ultors, really. I mean, she could. But would Ultors be the best choice here? Could you argue that Ultors would have been better than Behemoth's Heart? That's more of a hindsight thing now because of just how that last fight went, I think. But, like, I'd have to do numbers, but it almost feels like the mitigation of Ultors and then plus the activation of it would be better than having a straight-up Behemoth's Heart. Because, yeah, she has a lot more life because of the Behemoth's Heart, but she gets hit a lot harder also at the same time. So, yeah, I don't know exactly. I'm just kind of curious if that would be the case or not. But anyways, Magnus middle lane. He is going to be jumped here. You see the double Storm Spirit really trying to help him get away. Not enough, though. He goes down, and actually the chase continues further. Oh, they get the swap on Gladiator. This could be another kill. There was a buyback, by the way, but Magnus' final was, so the fight continues as Gladiator does go down. He's not buying back. Eruption in the background once again. Moon Queen going to hold her ground, but Arachna goes right for her over here. And again, you see the damage. And that between the lockdown, not much she could do in that fight this time. And yeah, the start was just that much better for Complexity. The biggest difference about this fight was that Complexity, they were the ones that began it. They were the ones that initiated into it. It really forced the pace of the fight. Now, Moon Queen, she's staying dead. She does have a buyback, just not enough gold for it. So that's going to be the top racks now. You do see the bottom down here. You can't forget about it, but they just do not have enough push with Moon Queen not being up. The towers, the tier 4 that is, are going to fall as well. Complexity making that a priority, and it looks like they're trying to finish this 100% here and take the series 2 games to nothing. And got to say, it looks like that's going to be the case at this time. So yeah, GG's in fact already being called. Gonna let it finish the old-fashioned way once again, but valiant effort from WOP Dash really in both games. I mean, definitely a team that clearly is showing they belong here in this event. But in the end, they are going to come up short, and they will lose the series 0-2 against Complexity. So on the other side of it, Complexity, got to be a good feeling, you know, in a sense, beating teams that they should, as they take the victory here. So they get their first 2-0 victory of the Deadeye Battle League. That puts them at 1-2-1, where WOP Dash will fall to 0-0-2. And I got to say, though, again, valiant effort by them. And even their previous opponent, I want to say they faced Fresh in their first series. Even that, you know, they had some good games there. So, yeah, it is going to be 2-0 in favor of Complexity as opposed to standings right here. And once again, you can see now how things are looking after we're all said and done here today. So good to have all the teams now involved. As Sync was that last one playing in the first match as they went 2-0 over BMG, of course. And then overall, though, a pretty good day. Pretty good day here of Heroes of Newer. So hopefully you guys enjoyed some good HON action here today. I'm not going to lie, it's fun doing a little bit of solo casting here to finish it off. It's I don't usually solo cast nowadays, especially, but every once in a while, it's good. It's fun. It's not bad to do it. Fun to challenge myself, if anything. See how much maybe I do know. No, but had some fun here, guys, and hopefully you guys enjoyed some more good Han here coming at you. But again, Complexity victorious 2-0, and that wraps up the day that we had. And overall, again, you're looking at the standings. Now, tomorrow we will be back. Going to be coming back on what is a Sunday, of course, and our match to kick it off will be BMG versus Fresh, Druids versus WOP Dash to follow, and then Sync versus Polymorph once again to finish it off for the night. So another fun day ahead of us here. Tomorrow, that'll be at 1 p.m. Eastern, 1800 Central European Time. So as far as, obviously today we're done, come back tomorrow. Now there is something else happening that I want to notify you guys of. There is an event in Australia that's actually taking place apparently in Sydney, Australia, from my understanding. I don't know everything about it, but there is a forum post that is up in the competitive sections. It is a LAN event from over there. They're having an event in Australia, but it's going to be fun to kind of check out that scene and see how things are going over there. And a big shout out to everyone that's involved. That Sliffer Jam, the one notifying me about it. I believe he's doing a lot of organization for it. So, but there are going to be several casters casting it, from my understanding, including Matthew Madical. He's going to be casting